What is going on, guys? Today I wanted to discuss how to prepare for Team of the Year. We did this for icon swaps, and that one is a little bit easier because it is very regimented, it's very formatted on how you do it. There's objectives, you do it, you get tokens. That's it. In terms of Team of the Year as a promo in itself, we know roughly what to expect. Obviously these cards are going to be the elite of the elite for their time. Until Team of the Season, some of them won't get overtaken, and to be honest, you more than likely will end up just another version of them that is packable again. For instance, if you get a Messi 98-99, you probably will, next one is going to be Team of the Season Messi 99 or 98. So it is going to be interesting to see how they shape up the content. Do they do the same kind of format with all of the packs? They release them, obviously, the defenders and goalkeepers at one, then the mids, then the forwards. I can imagine we will get that. And with it being not so long away, I kind of want to go over a couple of ways that you can actually craft these, get these done, and really kind of move with it. So the first way is going to be League SBC. Obviously, it's going to be the most beneficial way and probably the easiest way to save a lot of packs. And basically the method that I've seen a lot of people kind of going on with, and what they should be doing, is literally how I probably will end up doing it. Is you've got two options actually. So you could either save the big packs from every single league. So for instance, every time you finish an SBC, you just don't open the big one, the rare Electrum, the small rare, the prime gold, the 50k, and you basically just open up these individual four. That way, I think, is a very efficient way if you don't have necessarily a lot of coins or a lot of time to actually spend kind of just doing your bronze packs, your upgrades, all of that. The other way would be to obviously save the big ones from the major league, so the prime golds and the 50ks, and then obviously the minors, you keep opening them, because what you want to do is you don't want to hit a bump in the road. So for instance, if I go through every single league SBC and I don't open anything, eventually I'm going to run out of cards. I'm going to start sending coins in then. You don't want to get to that point. You want to keep the golds coming in consistently and keep on finish them as kind of quick as possible. So for instance, we're going to look at, I'm thinking, the Serie A is nowhere near done. The Prem, we haven't got enough. The Bundesliga we might have, but we don't have the final team finished. So for instance, what I'd be doing here, and you got to be looking at your club and thinking, what have I got a lot of? You want to finish all of these league SBCs as quick as possible, and obviously you want to be using as many untradables as you can personally. Obviously you can go with a few extra golds or gold rares. It's really not going to break the bank in terms of them. Normally I stop at 83s if anything, just because they're personally not necessarily worth putting in. Some of them are, like you see Kramaric, I will kind of tend to put him in quite a lot. And so we've done the first one. So for instance, just move this around a little bit. Should be pretty simple to get the chemistry, get you there, and then we'll go centre back and you there. Job's a good one. So we've sent that one, and we will be opening this one. So for instance, we'll just keep grinding through these. We'll keep doing our bronze packs, because, well, like I say, what you want to be doing is really re-rinsing and keep on going with all of the cards coming into the club, as well as then building the big ones. So for instance, this is probably perfect. We have Serie A, we have obviously an SBC one, another SBC card, a Prem Silver, which if you've ever watched the Icon pack, you know I love Prem Silvers, and two French Silvers. So that is absolutely perfect. But the kind of the knock-on effect this has, especially as you saw there getting the Russian, is we have 81 doubles. I would want to, especially if you're not looking for Mbappe now and maybe want him in Team of the Year if he gets in there, is be saving these. With all of this League SBC grind, we have this for another 3 days. Get as many of these done as possible, because these are perfect. Like they naturally just give you another good shot. So for instance, what I'd be looking at here is looking for all of the off leagues. So obviously Portugal's a big one. Hopefully we don't actually get Portugal now on this Thursday, because I don't particularly want another League SBC to kind of put away from all my rares, and I think we have put a couple of rares into these, so we may not necessarily have a full 6, so we may need to put some of the extras in, just looking for any off leagues if possible, even at the 82. If you find a Croatian or something like that, even Portugal, I know Coates is 83, he's just not really going to be used for much. He hasn't got necessarily the greatest links in terms of nationality, and obviously in terms of La Liga, we know we're not finished near there because we need the 2 SBCs, which are bronze and silvers, so I guarantee we'll end up with quite a few more of them. So let's go ahead and just see if we've got any more rares in here that we can whack of silvers. So we've done 4, 5, and we'll go, in fact, to just double check, we got untradables, perfect. So there we go, we've got the 6 there, perfect, and then obviously the commons, a little bit easier to come by. Obviously, we did have the Russian lad, so let's just quickly double check what we've got in terms of these. So it is all tradable kind of players now, and the main thing is to be trying to do it as untradable as possible. But if it's not the case, like for instance, if I wasn't necessarily showing you, I'd have probably sold off Moses instead, just because we'll get the extra coins for him and we can put that back into League SBCs. But for instance, for the video, I'm just kind of going through and just seeing what we've not necessarily got. Still haven't found Moses. What are we on? Oh, we're on 77s. We have got a lot of gold cards coming in, and as you can see, lots of Spain. So we know we don't need necessarily all of the rares, we just need technically enough to kind of get ourselves through some of the League SBC, and then we should just need, let's go to the Russian League because we know where it's from, so that is absolutely perfect. So we'll get him in, and there we go, Moses. So we'll whack all of these in as you would do in any League SBC, and this is going to be my personal first pack. I'm not a big fan of headliners this year. I feel like it was a little bit lackluster after coming off such a good promo with the wild cards, so there isn't a lot that anybody could do about that. I feel like the wildcards was actually just quite a good promo, so to go back to back with them sometimes is a little bit harder. But there we go, so we've got the first one in. Obviously Moses can kind of stay out now, and then we've got our first 81 plus. So for instance with this is I would keep going until you get an untradable off league player, and then you could just go ahead and whack that in. Then you want to just save this for whenever. If you want to save it for the defender goalkeepers, if you want to save it for the whole team, that is kind of down to you then. And another thing as well, whilst doing this grind, the preview packs are going to be absolutely perfect. But as we kind of know, it all starts with the bronze packs. And just as a kind of reiteration with bronze packs, for me, I keep everything. So eventually if something happens, for instance, this week we had the Celtic Rangers kind of marquee matchup segment. I made about 50k off just having them Celtic and Rangers players in my club. That is just from bronze packs. For instance, we've got an Eredivisie player here. You can go down the route of just selling everything. It will guarantee you money. But for League SBC purposes, we tend to just keep everything and just quickly double check just to make sure there's nothing really there. Obviously French too, so we'll end up doing that and then keeping the Eredivisie. You want to just keep doing this, and yes, it isn't necessarily massive grinding. If you've already got a lot of coins, you can just go and do minor leagues and buy them in full. But I like doing bronze packs just because you don't get the value that you do. Like for instance, he's say 500 coins at best, then we've got another one for say 250, plus then we get to discard all these. We can have a look at the price obviously of him. He's not going to go for anything, but we do know this guy is. So for instance, luckily for this one, we've made what, 800 coins if you count the discard, plus then having 2 players that are worth technically just under 1,000 but for both of them. That for me is 100% worth the value of doing bronze packs, but the only problem is that does take a little bit of time to actually get it done. I would 100% recommend going on the mobile for it, but again, sometimes you don't end up with anything and you kind of just have to cut your losses with some packs. I don't personally sell absolutely everything now. I mainly will look at either people with very low amount of people on the transfer list, or major leagues, or in fact League SBC leagues, so minors from Turkish League, Belgium, Eredivisie, MLS, all the way to the Prem, Bundesliga, and obviously Liga. But for instance with this, we made 277 just from discarding everything, and that's why I like putting everything in the club once, because if they don't sell now, they may sell in the future, and then we can discard as we go forward. From there, you will get a lot of silver packs just naturally from doing a lot of the League SBC grind. If you haven't kind of done any of the League SBC grind, get your bronze packs open and just start finishing some of these first segments. You literally get silver players pack. It'll give you, I think, 10 or 11 silvers, 1 rare. Put them into the club. That's when you look at the 11 from one league. Then you just keep going and going and going. Before you know it, you'll end up with a full squad. I think we've got about 7.3k players in the club at the moment, and you can just keep rinsing and repeating. From there, I would then just necessarily save everything. If you haven't got a lot of coins, I would suggest to definitely looking at the major leagues and saving at least them big packs. But if you are kind of a little bit more beneficial with coins, you've got a bit more saved up, then potentially saving the final SBC pack from each of them could actually be a nice move, because you still get your hit of obviously good packs from all of the 4, and then you just save one of the 4. I think that's not a bad deal, because most of these, like the premium gold players, yes, it's great for kind of more gold players coming in, but for instance with this one, we're still getting a premium mixed, a small mixed, premium silver, and obviously a premium gold, so we're constantly getting as many golds in the club as possible. So for me, that's the personal grind that I would go. If then you're looking at a different way of doing it, League SBC is its own way obviously, then you're looking at potentially drafts. Again, it's another very viable way of doing it. If you're not necessarily doing all of the game modes this year and maybe focusing on draft, save them. Keep saving the coins, open up the silver pack. If you've potentially lost the first round, you more than likely will make quite a bit of coins from it because of League SBCs, and you can just keep grinding that way. And then kind of another way is just naturally getting rival rewards, squad battle rewards, champs rewards, then looking at potentially any objectives that you've not finished off. Obviously, we've just personally gone through and done the 300 silver friendly matches. We got a 100k pack and 125. But then we have obviously these packs. We have the rival wins, we have drafts, winning battles, all giving you mega packs, and obviously 2 rare gold packs. If you want to save them, definitely, why not? And then finally we have icon swaps. If you haven't started this grind, we've got it coming back on the 10th of January. Personally, I'm going to be saving my 83 times 25 for the team of the year, and more than likely saving it for the full team, as I think it would be more beneficial. If you necessarily have finished all of the packs, or at least opened up the big ones, you never know, you might want to save them. They are a definite different option, but personally my favorite would definitely be going for the League SBC grind, then putting it into 81 doubles to save them as well and see what you get. There is obviously, if you go on Twitter, I think it's Spreadsheet FIFA or FIFA Spreadsheet has kind of like a pack accumulator that you can have where you can put in all of your packs and kind of go with that value and just kind of give yourself a target to go for. Is it 50 packs, 100 packs, 1,000 packs? You've got 2 weeks to go, I think, or just a week and a half now until we get either the announcement or the very start of Team of the Year. So I think it's very interesting to either get the grind going or at least putting your club into shape, because I think for me it's not necessarily massively important to save up loads of packs. I think the most packs I've ever saved up for Team of the Year is probably about 10, and that was probably the rival rewards literally the Thursday before, because you have so much to do in the time. I naturally just keep doing upgrade packs anyway. So another good way of kind of preparing yourself for Team of the Year is just getting your club in order. Is all your consumables sold? Is all your gold players sold that you don't want to use? Are you stocked up to do League SBCs, ready to go into Team of the Year, so you're doing every pack during Team of the Year? There is so many ways that you can prepare. It isn't all about saving packs and kind of making sure that you've got hundreds and hundreds of these 50k packs, because yes, they will naturally give you a bit of a head start as such, but the odds are so against everybody. I don't think it necessarily matters massively to get at least one. I think if you're looking to get a handful of Team of the Years, then yes, maybe you do need to kind of prep a little bit. But if you are looking for one Team of the Year and you're willing to put in a lot of hours, I think it took me about 15.5 hours to get my second Team of the Year. Sometimes people can get them back to back. I've seen it before, and sometimes people don't get a second one. I think we saw on Twitter somebody open up about 450 packs and didn't have one Team of the Year yet, whereas I think my first one came in about 25 packs. A goalkeeper, but very lucky. So it is kind of a range of ways. I just want to know how you're doing it. If you want to leave a comment down below of how you're grinding, preparing, getting ready for Team of the Year, leave it down below. Like and subscribe on this one, and we'll be ready for Team of the Year soon. Catch you all for the next one. Peace.